Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about my new piercing! You guys have no idea how long I have waited to make this video. I have wanted this specific piercing. First of all, if you have no idea what piercing I'm talking about, I am talking about my Medusa, my Philtrum Piercing. So anyway, I have been wanting to get this piercing for probably going on about 4 years now. And I remember back in the day, I was taking like little gems that you would use for crafting, and I would put lash glue on them and I would glue them on my face where my Medusa would be pierced. And I don't know, it's just been a piercing that I have always wanted. I love the look of them. I think they're so flattering, and I personally thought that this piercing would be very flattering on myself. And a week ago today, I finally got it. As you can see, the jewelry is quite long, obviously, because it is new, it is healing, it swells, so you gotta have that longer jewelry in there. But I know a lot of you guys are so excited for me, which I greatly appreciate. And I finally announced on my Instagram that I got this piercing. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you, you finally got it, you've been wanting this for so long. And you're absolutely right, this piercing has been a long time coming, and I want to tell you about everything. I want to tell you about getting it pierced. I want to tell you about the first week. I want to tell you about how I'm cleaning it. I have had this piercing plan for, like I said, many years now, and I made it a goal that 2020 I was going to get this piercing. No matter what I had to do, I was going to make it like a dead end goal that I was gonna get this piercing. So, you know, 2020 rolls around and I'm like, sweet, this is my year. And then COVID happened. Lovely COVID-19. Well, obviously, once COVID made its way to the United States, we went into like a full lockdown. Gyms were closed, hair salons were closed, nail salons were closed, tattoo and piercing shops were closed. So there was like a good 3-4 months where I literally couldn't do anything, because obviously I'm not gonna pierce it myself because, well, I'm not a fucking idiot. Literally was like, great, like I'm probably never gonna get this piercing, like our shop's ever gonna open up again, like I'm super bummed, which I was really upset. Well, finally, around, what was it, June? I think it was June, is when tattoo and piercing shops were able to open up again, which I was really excited about. And I messaged my piercer, who has done all of my piercings for probably the last 5 years. I messaged her and I said, hey, I'm so glad you guys are open again. Is there any way that you could do my Medusa piercing for me? And she said that unfortunately, due to the mask mandate that everyone has to wear a mask, she was not performing any sort of nose or oral piercings, and this is considered an oral piercing because it's a lip piercing. Now, she has a young son, so I totally get it. I'm like, okay, like that's cool, that's fine, please let me know. You know, me, I'm not a very patient person. Like, I've already waited 4 years for this piercing, like I can't take it anymore. So I went onto Facebook and I started searching all these different shops in my area, like, you know, are you guys doing oral piercings? Are you guys doing oral piercings? And finally I found a shop that said, yes, we are doing oral piercings. Basically, you just have to wear your mask, and then once they do the piercing, you take it down. Once the piercing's over, you put it back on. So I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I really want to get my Philtrum pierced, and you guys are the first shop that I've been able to get into contact with. They were like, sweet, awesome, come on down. We're open till 8. Let's do this for you. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. Last Saturday, I was over at my boyfriend's parents' house, just kind of helping them do some things, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make today the day. It's Saturday, it's a good day. So after we were done at my boyfriend's parents' house, we went straight downtown to a shop called Screaming Needle, and that is where I got my lip piercing. And this one by far was the quickest experience I've ever had getting a piercing. I literally think I was in and out in under 10-15 minutes. It was insane, which I totally get because, you know, due to COVID, they don't want people just like congregating in the area. They basically want you in and out. So I was totally fine with that. It's really hard for me to film piercings by myself, and, you know, due to COVID, no one was allowed to come back with me. So I basically, because I was laying down for the piercing, and I decided to rest my hand on my stomach, which was kind of blocking the lens a little bit, but I did record myself getting the piercing. So if you guys want to see that whole entire process, I will go ahead and insert that footage right now. So yes, as you can see from that footage of me getting it pierced, it was super fast, super easy, you know, bing, bang, boom, done. I was up and out of there, like I said, in like 10, 15 minutes. It was insane. I've never had an experience so fast in my life. So now let's talk about the actual piercing, pricing, pain, etc., etc. So the number one question that I'm going to get asked is, did it hurt? Honestly, I am going to say yes, it hurt because it's a piercing. It's a 16 gauge needle going through your lip. It obviously hurts. But another thing, to be perfectly honest with you, the night I got home after getting it, I completely forgot what it felt like to get pierced. So it obviously wasn't that bad because I literally forgot about the pain like 2 hours later. It really wasn't a big deal. I have definitely, like, I've had my belly button pierced for like 10, 11 years now, and I can still feel the pain of getting that pierced. I can still feel the pain of getting my nipples pierced. Like, you know, there's just certain pains you remember, but this one, I really didn't. It really wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Everyone told me that, hey, that piercing's gonna really hurt. You have a lot of nerve endings there, and I was like, great. Fuck, this is gonna suck, but it honestly wasn't that bad. Now for pricing, I paid a total of $25 to get this piercing. I did not get to pick my own jewelry. This is the jewelry that they just had for me. It's just a flat back, external, straight barbell, you know, with, I want to say this is maybe like a 2-3 millimeter ball. I could be wrong. So it's just like a standard piece of jewelry. So I didn't have to pay any extra for that. It was a really good experience. It was a little funky getting used to because obviously when you get a piercing and they give you the long jewelry, it is a little bit hard to get used to, and it does sit kind of funny because before the swelling hits, it's really long and it's really awkward and it flops all around your mouth. Like, as you can see, it's quite long because the swelling has gone down quite a bit for me. So that did take me a little bit to get used to. As far as like pain and taking care of it, it has been easy peasy. Like, this has been a really easy piercing for me to take care of. Obviously it was a little bit sore and tender. It still is the slightest bit tender. Like, I definitely wouldn't want to be like playing with it right now, but it doesn't hurt to talk. It's not super swollen anymore. I did take footage throughout the week to kind of show you guys the progression of swelling and when the crusties started to happen and all that good stuff. So if you guys want to see the progression over the last week, here is that footage now. Could tell from looking at that footage, but obviously day 2 was definitely the worst for me. It was definitely the most painful. It was the most swollen. Every time I turned my head to the side, I looked like a Simpsons character because my top lip was so incredibly swollen. So definitely day 2 was the worst, but basically what I did for that is I would ice it, eat popsicles, take some ibuprofen that day. I did take ibuprofen for, I think, the first 3 days just because I didn't want the swelling to get like out of control. After that, the swelling did start to go down quite a bit, and I want to say now that the swelling is almost like 100% gone now, like it's gone completely down back to my normal lip size. So as far as taking care of it, because not only is this like, you know, a new piercing, it's also an oral piercing. So this is when your oral hygiene really comes into play if you want to have a good healing experience. So the two things that I've been using, the first one is mouthwash. Now every time after you eat, drink something that isn't water, smoke, you know, whatever the case may be, you want to rinse your mouth out with mouthwash. And the reason for that is because half of the piercing is inside your mouth. So anything you put in your mouth, your piercing is being exposed to that. So germs, bacteria, you know, all that yucky stuff, you don't want it. So basically what I would do is just pour a little bit of this mouthwash into a shot glass, dilute it a little bit with water because this is not alcohol free, swish it around for about 30 seconds, spit it out, and call it good. And obviously brushing my teeth 1 to 2 times a day, you know, all that jazzy poo. And then for the outer part of the piercing, I've been using my NeilMed Piercing Aftercare Mist. Basically, I'll just take the top off, give it a good spray. Sometimes I'll even spray the inside, like I'll push it all the way down, give it a good spray, and it's good to go. So the care for this piercing is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. I don't need to do anything super extravagant. We are now at exactly 1 week today, so I will zoom you guys in and show you what everything is looking like on the outside, on the inside, all that jazz. Also, today is the first day that I am wearing makeup since I have gotten this piercing. Now, typically makeup for the first couple weeks isn't really recommended around the area, but I don't plan on keeping my makeup on all day, so I will make sure to clean it really nicely. There's another thing I forgot to mention. When I'm in the shower, I do clean the outside with antibacterial soap just to get any grease, grime, makeup, dirt, anything away from the area and get it nice and clean. So here is an up-close view of what the piercing looks like now at 1 week old. So here's kind of what the outside is looking like. See a little bit of crusties on there, which is totally normal. That's all. Okay. And then here's what the inside looks like. It's looking really good. It's healing really good. I really like the placement of it, and I cannot wait to change it to shorter jewelry because as you can see, it is it's quite long. The piercer at the shop that I went to did tell me that after 2 weeks, once the swelling has gone down, I can switch it to something shorter. Now, if you guys remember when I got my Monroe pierce, I think I waited about a month before I changed it to something shorter, just because I know my body and I'm typically someone who heals a little bit slower with piercings. However, with this one in particular, I am healing a lot better than I thought I would be, so I am gonna give it another week or so, and then I may change it to something a lot shorter. That way it doesn't get caught on anything and disrupt the healing process. Typically the longer jewelry is just good for the swelling period, and then after that, changing it to something shorter will help it finish off the healing process. Typically, lip piercings take about 2 to 6 months max to heal. Even 6 months might be pushing it. If you're taking good care of it and keeping it clean and following all the directions and all that jazz, you really should be good to go. So I think maybe next weekend we'll change it to something shorter, and I will record that process for you guys because I am definitely getting a little bit anxious to change it out. But basically the only thing that I'm like struggling with, and I don't even really like to call this a struggle, but I am getting, like you can see one right there, I am getting quite a bit of crusties on the piercing, but that is nothing to be concerned about. It's not infected, it's not gross. It's literally my body sending white blood cells to the area to heal it, and once those dry, they turn into those crusties. So I do find myself having to kind of clean those off a lot more often than in the beginning of when I got this piercing, but that is a really good sign. What was it? I think it was 2 days ago it started to itch really bad, which is also a good sign. That means it's healing. It's not an allergic reaction to the jewelry. Trust me, there's a huge difference between the two. There's itchy healing and itchy allergic reaction. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely in what I like to call the ugly stage of healing, where you have like the crusties and they're just kind of hanging there. It's really kind of unsightly, I get it, but it's all part of the healing process and eventually that won't happen anymore. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments what you think of my new piercing. Are you super excited for me? I am super excited for me. I cannot wait to change the jewelry and make it fit better, and I'm so excited. I have so much more fun taking selfies now because I have this new beautiful piece of jewelry in my face. I love it so much. If you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure you go down and give this video a huge thumbs up. Also, if you are lurking around and you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, I just want to welcome you to the family. Make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here on my channel, and we do a bunch of different stuff. We do makeup, vlogs, tattoos, piercings, anything you can think of, we do it here. For the rest of you, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued support. I don't know what I would do without you guys. I love you so much. But until then, I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys.